Hello everyone, it's Annabella and I'm back with another purchase reading. Today we will take a look at the relationship between Lisa and Mingyu from 17. I recall there were a few requests about them a while back too, but I never got to it. Please send many thanks to the purchaser for her willingness to purchase and share. Well, always a quick reminder that this is only a celebrity tarot reading. It is meant for entertainment, so please remain logical, and with that, let's go ahead and check out their relationship. My purchaser specifically asked about their friendship, but I will just take a look generally to read the energy surrounding these two, since relationship can show up as any types. Let's get started on their mutual spread. The first card we have here is Five of Pentacles. This card can be interpreted very differently in different situations, and especially since I do not pull reversal cards, I often have to use my intuition to interpret this card. What I do feel for sure about this relationship is that they are friends, so this card would not represent its usual definition of a couple breaking up and becoming strangers. Rather, it represents how Lisa and Mingyu are good friends who understand each other because they have suffered similar things in life, or at least they are friends who can go to each other for comfort when facing difficult moments in life. No matter what situation, there are still two people hanging in there together in the Five of Pentacles. The Chariot. I feel this represents both of them, how they are very driven people. I don't know if they often meet for work or just to hang out, but because of their driven, forward-moving personalities, whenever they meet, you can feel a lot of explosive energy, as in like lots of smiling and feeling themselves, their best self. Sometimes I feel the Chariot carries the energy of young people, keeps on moving and meeting new people, looking for opportunities and being open. But I also think because of that, the energy of the Chariot doesn't settle down often. I see it being mostly fun meets up of two friends. The Hierophant. To me, this card is more about knowledge sharing. This may be related to what I have said earlier in the Five of Pentacles, how they seem to be friends who go to each other for comfort and advice. They are at least on that comfort level, not just work acquaintances. But even if it's just a work relationship, it's one where they continue to learn a lot from each other and help each other out. When it's not about work, I suddenly thought about them being able to chat and have small, friendly catch-ups, even gossip. But of course, all of these cards are pretty clear that this is just a traditional friendship. Eight of Cups. Even when they go to each other to seek for advice, I believe they both are two people who live their own life. After every meetup and parties, they will go home to their own different lives. I don't know if they recently worked together or have recently seen each other, but I don't think their life intertwined much more than that. This card is about self-discovery, self-analysis, so they could be walking away to digest the suggestions or lessons they learn from each other every time they meet. Lastly, for this relationship, we have Judgment. I feel as though this is like a supporting card for the Eight of Cups here, where they understand where their relationship stands pretty well and their stances towards each other, as in they understand what their feelings are towards each other. But since we have three major arcanas here, we could also just focus on the meaning of these three energies, which describe this relationship to be a close, fun, supporting friendship where each would run towards each other when the other person is in need because it just feels right. It just feels right to hang out with people who you feel happy with, dancing with them, chit-chatting, giving suggestions on each other's music or dance and such. Okay, let's now check on their individual feelings. Though we know this is a close friendship, there could be feelings from each individual that we can dive into a little more. Let's take a look at Mingu's feelings towards Lisa first. What are his feelings towards her? Ace of Cups. Well, what do we have here? The Ace of Cups. Sometimes, I like cards that have straightforward definitions because then anyone who watches these videos can go take a look at the definition of these cards for themselves. This card is all about those initial feelings, liking someone. It's going to be a good card if the spread continues to have supporting cards that assist this energy. But for now, as it is the only card from Mingyu so far, it represents Mingyu having a bit of an interest towards Lisa, or that he can't help but be swayed by her, be attracted by her. Next, Four of Swords. Well, Four of Swords doesn't do the Ace of Cups any good because it is a resting card. There's no action, there's no talking, no sharing. It's funny because though the mutual relationship seems as though they are two people who share knowledge and often learn from each other, this card indicates they don't talk much, or at least Mingyu doesn't share his feelings with Lisa. Maybe they share about work or something funny or talk about other people, music, arts, and their career, but this card tells me he never told her his feelings in the Ace of Cups. Six of Cups. The crazy thing is we have a card that indicates the past. I now wonder if that ace came from the past or that he has had this Ace of Cups for a very long time, but this feeling remained in the state of the Four of Swords. What I mean is that he liked her for a long time, but never was able to tell her. Yeah, I do not know. Anyways, besides focusing so much on the Ace of Cups, the Six of Cups could definitely represent his feeling whenever he gets to see Lisa again. It feels like candy. It feels very nice. She is someone who he has known for a long time, so regardless, this card makes sense if they recently met. He's meeting her again, the girl who he has liked. He would cherish his moments with her even though he knows it doesn't last. Five of Cups. There will always be an end to this party. This is a card that represents sadness. It went from Ace of Cups, Six of Cups to Five of Cups, almost like it went backward, or that he knew his feelings wouldn't be reciprocated. Maybe he internally gave up already, and that's why the Four of Swords is here. Anyways, this is a mix of some really pretty cards and some really depressing cards. This is how Mingyu is right now. He loves it that he gets to see her, but there is a hint of sadness in his eyes regardless, because he knows this relationship will only remain as a friendship. The High Priestess. As this is the last card and also the only major arcana in this spread, I truly think Mingyu's feelings have not been expressed. It will probably not be expressed anytime in the future either. He will continue to keep his Ace of Cups for himself and hide behind his curtain. He is happy as is that she treats him like a friend and that he can see her and show support to her. This is in line with the High Priestess because she represents secrets, mystery, unattainability, desirability, and none of these definitions support Mingyu's interest in Lisa ever being exposed. If anyone who is watching think I am speaking nonsense, do look up some of the definitions of these cards. All I'm doing here is truly pulling the links between these cards and tying them up together to make sense of what is going on. But it does seem like we accidentally saw through Mingyu's secret in this reading. Lastly, let's now move on to Lisa's feelings toward Mingyu. What are her feelings towards him? Her first card is Six of Wands. This is a celebrity card. It carries the definition of victories and success. I'm guessing with Lisa, she sees her connection with Mingyu as a successful one, as in a successful teamwork. She knows this relationship can bring good success. Not only is Mingyu supportive towards her, he motivates her and help boost her ego. I believe overall she just sees this connection as wonderful and secure. She feels as though he is a friend who she can lean on when she needs some kind of support. Page of Cups. I'm going to tell you now that this is going to be the only Cups card from Lisa's side. It's funny because it is as if Mingu's is this Page of Cups, happily bringing this cup and giving it to Lisa. However, since this is about Lisa's feeling, this is not a card that would be strong enough to reciprocate Mingu's Ace of Cups. It's really not. This Page of Cups mostly represents her love towards this friendship, how she feels as though she could be a kid again when he is around. He makes her feel happy, but that's it. She may or may not know about his feelings, but this indicates she would not go past anything with him. It's like he's friend zone. The Magician. However, he is a really wonderful friend that she cherishes a lot. She sees him as being super capable. He has everything she needs right now to help her out with her work. Though I have a feeling she feels as though she doesn't truly understand him. He is always composed in front of her, exactly like this magician. He only shows her his good sides, the sides he thinks she will prefer, for example, as her super cool guy friend. But when things are too perfect, it is hard to know if it's truly this perfect or not. And I believe this is reflected in the next card here too. The Four of Swords. He has this exact Four of Swords in his cards too. And in this spread, I felt as though he isn't able to tell her all his feelings. I believe Lisa is someone who is very sensitive, and this must have been something that she picked up as well. They talk and talk, but always skip out on something. This Four of Swords could also be related back to their mutual spread too, where she knows once they meet up, hang out, work, and have fun, or whatever they do together, they will head back to their own life and continue with their own work eventually. Their relationship isn't a continuous relationship where they would talk every single day. Lastly, the Star. This is a card that represents hope. I feel as though Lisa feels hopeful that this relationship will be able to last forever, where they can remain friends forever and ever. She likes when she is with him because she can be comfortable, be herself. There's peace and quiet here. She gets to heal physically and emotionally. But yeah, they are definitely friends, for sure. A friendship that seems super comfortable on the outside, but with much hidden feelings. I hope this was an interesting reading for you all, but that's the end of this reading. Thank you so much to my purchaser. If you enjoy this reading, please remember to send many thanks in the comment section to the purchaser who is generous enough to purchase and share this reading publicly. As usual, purchase readings on my channels are not subject to monetization. As always, remember that tarot reading is based on energy, and as the interpreter of these energies, I may not be 100% accurate. Please remember to be logical, have an open mind, and keep yourself grounded with the information. If you're interested in buying a reading from me, please check out my description for my contact information or visit my Etsy store, annabellatarot.etsy.com. I also accept payment and donations via PayPal. For pricing, please see my channel's description. Feel free to leave your requests in the comments, but I will again prioritize purchase readings and most popular requests that fit my interests. Thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day and see you next time.